How did Black Crows happen? What were the takeaways for you as an artist? How did that shape and mold your playing?
Well, it was really a fairly standard story in that they needed a guitar player and they held auditions. You know, I had really liked that band. They're as far as, you know, the kind of rock and roll music that really speaks to me. I mean, they're great. Chris Robinson is one of the great singers and frontmen. There's no doubt about that. And so it was a real. I was really excited about it because I was such a fan, you know, and I knew also that it would be a good fit for me as far as being a player. And so it was an interesting years. It was an interesting time playing with those guys. You know, it's a bit of a volatile organization, and that kind of comes out in the music.
So, you know, you're with the Crows. I mean, it's an incredibly talented group of people, and there's a lot of back and forth and synergy. But you were touring a lot. You were in the studio a lot. What was life on the road like?
I remember being in Europe for 9 weeks, coming home for a week, and then being out in the States for 10 weeks. So that's 19 out of 20.
Wow.
You know.
Is this like every night, every other night? I mean,
yeah, but it doesn't really matter because you're away from your
right.
your home. You know. So. I mean, it was a privilege. Your chops are in really good shape when you play that much.
For sure.
But it could definitely be grueling. There's no doubt about that. You know, we were lucky enough during my tenure there to do several tours with Jimmy Page. And,
I wanted to ask you about that.
And there's a record called Live at the Greek where we were backing Jimmy and he played with us. Doing mostly Led Zeppelin songs and some blues songs and a couple Crows tunes and whatnot. And I think you can still buy it. I think it's in print.
So tell us about that particular event and how that happened, and you know, what was it like playing with Page?
We had done a charity event with him as his band, and it grew out of that. And it was a mind blower for me. I'm not sure that I say this every time anybody asks me about it, but I'm really not sure that I've completely processed it. Just because, I literally had the Circus Magazine poster on the wall, from '77 tour with the double neck and the yellow sunglasses and the SS hat.
I have that. I had that same poster in my basement. Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, huge for me. The guy was, in my development, and still is maybe my favorite guitar player as far as a rock guitar player, as far as an overall guy for a lot of reasons. And so, once I got over the initial anxiety of we've got to go in and rehearse with this guy to do this gig, that's a pretty monumental thing.
It can be intimidating.
Yeah, for a guy like me, well, to say the least. Right. I mean, for a guy like me, especially playing his instrument. Right. But once we got through that, he was awesome, man. He was really,
like as a
cool.
Person?
He's a fan of music. If you've seen the movie It Might Get Loud, I'm sure you've seen it. When I think he holds up the record Rumble by Link Wray. He's talking about playing that. I had that discussion with him, 10 or 11 years ago. He's such a fan, he wants to tell everybody about this thing, and he still seemed to be visibly excited about it, So once again, you're talking about your commitment and what makes you happy, and that coming out in the sounds that you make. He's really the best example I can think of as far as that, this infectious enthusiasm. And he was very gracious and awesome to all the players, all the guys. So it was an experience I will forever feel grateful and somewhat unworthy of having. It's like, why did I get to do this?
Privilege.
It was awesome. Yeah,
just amazing.
Yeah. So, and to have that preserved on a record.
Oh, amazing.